Hey there, what's going? It's Richie Rich back yet again, and today I'm bringing you a review of the 90s crossover featuring Batman The Dark Knight versus Judge Dredd collection. Be sure to check it out.
So as far as I know, this was the first collaboration between these two comic book characters from Josh Dredd being from Fleetway Publications, which now is the Rebellion Developments Limited company, and obviously Batman: The Dark Knight from DC Comics. So yeah, it's really one thing just like bring out like it adds a lot of realism because both characters are I'd say like abilities are very similar. Both of them don't have superpowers. Batman and Judge Dredd, they both rely on their wit, their tenacity, and their bravery, to go like to catch their supervillains. So it really works well. It's really the stories, all four stories inside the collection is all based in like reality. Batman and Judge Dredd could exist like in like in this world. So I found that I really found that intriguing. Now the books came out in the throughout the 90s, starting with the first one, which was Judgement on Gotham, Batman Judge Dredd Judgement on Gotham. Second one was the Vederian Gotham, which was in 1983. Judgment on Gotham was 1981, Vederian Gotham was 1983. That was followed shortly by The Ultimate Riddle, made in 1985, and Die Laughing, which was published in 1998. So Batman, Batman Judge Dredd Judgment on Gotham. This was the first one, the beginning of the stories, which was made in 1991, and this was written by John Wagner and Alan Grant, who I believe John Wagner was the co-creator, and I believe Alan Grant did a couple of stories as well with Batman and Judge Dredd and a few other comic book heroes as well. And the art was done by Simon Bisley, who is a comic book artist, and he's done he does a lot of like pretty brilliant styles versions of Batman, of the Batman character. Even if you type it up, go Simon Bisley, see his portfolio for Batman. He's very, very gothic the way he does his art style, very gothic, and it suits Batman because he's such a dark character, someone who remains in like the shadows. So I mean, Batman just suits Simon Bisley doing drawings on Batman. It just shoots the atmosphere of like Gotham City and everything that the Batman character embodies. So it's very good. Like his designs on a comic book artist, and he's done he does a lot of like pretty brilliant styles versions of Batman, of the Batman character. Even if you type it up, go Simon B. What happens? All right, so to start off this story, Judge Death, who is one of Judge Dredd's Rose Gallery, he makes an interdimensional jump to Gotham City. As he believes if he stays in Mega City, he will never be able to overthrow where Judge Dredd and all of the officers who work there, everyone who works in Judge Dredd's staff force, they wouldn't be able to. Judge Dredd could never ever beat Judge Dredd. So he decides to make a dimensional jump to Gotham City. And once he arrives there, he immediately counters Batman because he murders two young lovers. So once Judge Death gets to Gotham City, he immediately, after killing the couple, Batman jumps to the scene and has a quick fight with him.
Whilst Batman's fighting Judge Death, he's able to Judge Death's he leaves as another host, so he goes into another body. Batman is able to put the host body on fire, which is able for Judge Death to flee Gotham Alley, because that's where they were fighting. Whilst Batman is investigating the body that Judge Death used for a host, he presses the button that was the dimensional jump belt, which is transferred from Gotham City all the way to Mega City 1, where he meets up with another of Judge Dredd's Rogues Gallery Mean Machine. Batman immediately fights with Mean Machine again, because Mean Machine was at the time fighting Judge Death before he transported to Gotham City, and Batman's able to subdue him. He beats him, and he's just about to go find where it's going on, because Batman's he doesn't know where he is, so he's about to go investigate the city. He immediately comes in encounter with Judge Dredd, and Dredd feels like he's a vigilante, a criminal, so he immediately gives him a whack to the jaw, like a sucker punch, and Batman gets knocked out immediately and gets taken to the I believe it's the facility or their prison in Mega City 1. Judge Anderson, who is part of the unit that Judge Dredd works for, the officers in Mega City 1 protecting their city, she wakes up and she gets called to go to the interrogation room where Batman's tied up and he's being questioned, and Batman is just sitting down there pissed off, saying I've done nothing wrong, no law can put me down for this, he wants to be let free immediately. And when Judge Anderson arrives at the interrogation room, she meets Batman for the first time, and she's a telepath. So what she does, he reads her mind. He reads Batman's mind. Whilst reading Batman's mind, there's a really cool a collage of Batman's history, just summed up in one picture that shows Joker, his parents being shot, and multiple of his other villains that he's had to tackle in the past. It's really, really big collage, and she just says weird. Anderson doesn't know what to make of it. She's just weird. So after that, Judge Anderson explains Judge Death's motives and what he plans to do in Gotham City. Batman immediately says he insists that you let me out right now, let me free. And Dredd insists that Batman has to serve 20 years sentence for his crimes, for being a vigilante or something. This really enrages Batman, and he's able to break his bonds. He's able to break his the ropes that were had him in prison. He breaks it, and he gives a big smack to Judge Dredd's face. It's a real nice panel shoot, which is cool. So after Batman lays a brutal punch on Judge Dredd, Judge Dredd responds saying, "Oh, you've just added 10 more years to your sentence." Batman then gives him some super kick and says, "Make it 20." Whilst Batman is just literally kicking the crap out of Judge Dredd, more of the other judges come to stop Batman, and whilst he's doing this, Anderson, who's with the judges, she breaks Batman out of custody and drives him, takes a motorbike and drives Batman to the dimensional gate, which can get them to Gotham. And Judge Dredd is really pissed. He wants to nail Batman, so he ends up following them. The story then switched back to Judge Death and what he's doing in Gotham City. He ends up meeting with one of Batman's foes, the Scarecrow, Jonathan Crane, and they decide to team up together to use. Scarecrow wants to obviously use his fear toxin at a big crowd of people, so they go to a heavy metal concert in Gotham City. And whilst they're doing that, they want to have some fun, just killing people at a concert, because it's it draws, obviously a concert draws a lot of big crowds, so they team up together and they leave. And just another quick point, the way Scarecrow looks in this is pretty terrifying. It's probably the scariest version of
Jonathan Crane, aka the Scarecrow, is very like demonic the way he looks. It doesn't really show like his face, similar to how he kind of looks in the new Batman Adventures, the revamp. It really looks terrifying, and it's just a really cool art, a really cool style. The way Simon Bisley depicted him in Judgement on Gotham is really swell. So whilst back in Gotham, Scarecrow and Judge Death, they go into City Morgue to steal like raw materials for like a fear toxin. For like his fear toxin, and after whilst they're there, Judge Death tries to turn on Scarecrow, and Scarecrow already anticipated that he was gonna turn on him, so he actually uses his fear toxin on Judge Death. And because Death has, a Death character wouldn't really have nightmares. His nightmare is a version of like fluffy bunnies and little ponies. So like a happy, like what a kid, like a young girl would think of, which is like fun. That's like the complete opposite to him, complete contrast. It's more of a nightmare for him. So like with doing this, with that fear of like Judge Death's like, oh, make it stop. He doesn't want to have that ponies appearing in his mind. Judge Scarecrow tells him that if you don't want this to happen again, you follow my orders from now. So straight they go to the concert, and Death just starts slaughtering like the whole the heavy metal band, all the kids and the teens who are coming to the concert. And he just goes on a mad killing frenzy whilst at the heavy metal rock show. What happens as well is Dredd actually arrives on the scene before Batman and Anderson. So Dredd is in a battle with Judge Death again, and Death is just in the point of just killing Judge Dredd, and Batman and Anderson quickly arrive. What happens as well is Dredd actually arrives on the scene before Batman and Anderson. So Dredd is in a battle with Judge Death again, and Death is just in the point of just killing Judge Dredd, and Batman and Anderson quickly arrive. Batman uses a batarang to destroy the physical body that Judge Death was inhabiting, and Anderson is able, with her psychic and telepathic ability, she's able to imprison Judge Death's spirit within her mind. Yeah, shortly after that, Judge Dredd also battles. Judge Dredd also takes out Mean Machine, the one who headbutted Batman early on, and he takes him down. Same as Scarecrow, Batman's able to take out Scarecrow before he can use his fear toxin again. I think he is able to use it on him, so he's able to take him back to Arkham Asylum again. And by the end, as Judge Dredd and Anderson are ready to return back to Mega City 1 with Mean Machine, Judge Dredd he insists that Batman come along and complete his sentence. And Batman's like, you ain't taking me nowhere. If you're gonna take me, you're gonna have to make me go. And they actually come close to fighting again. But Anderson persuades the Dredd to, he's one of us. He's one of the good guys. Drop all the charges. And as Batman takes Scarecrow to return him back to prison, Dredd has a respect for him, and he actually says he's a bit of a tough guy, implying that he has some great respect for Batman, even though their way of enforcing law is different. They're still on the same side. They want to bring justice. So in my thoughts on Judgement on Gotham, I'm gonna get to the other three books later on, but just to quickly summarize, I think it's out of the three books I'm going on, it's definitely the strongest. It really works well because Judge Dredd and Batman, although they're two different characters, they have a lot of similar traits in the way. Both are very proud, both are tough, both want justice, want to bring justice to the worlds, their worlds, Mega City 1 and Gotham City, and both are very resilient and want to do whatever it can to catch their own bad guy. If it be Scarecrow or Judge Death, Mean Machine, or any of Batman's other rogues gallery. So I mean they have their similar traits, and this story works so well as well because of the magnificent art style that Simon Bisley done. He captures the essence of Batman, the Batman character, and even Judge Dredd, because Batman just naturally is just a dark character, and the way how Simon Bisley draws this kind of gothic, kind of like darkness style into it, it makes it so appealing. And I definitely would recommend this book to anyone who's a fan of Batman and Judge Dredd. It's a great book to add to your collection. One of the best crossovers, I think. And imagine this is just only the first of the first of a 4-part collection. So it's a great way to start off this series of crossovers featuring Batman and Judge Dredd. So let me know if you've had a chance to maybe grab this book and read it. Let me know. Give me your comments on how you feel about it. What are your thoughts? Anything that I missed, please let me know. And I'm gonna be on to the next story, which is Vendetta in Gotham. I'll be putting that up shortly, straight after this one. Yeah. So what I plan to do is after this, I'm gonna be reviewing. After doing this review, I noticed that doing them all as a collection would be really, it would be a long duration. So it was much better to separate them out. So I'm gonna review each of the stories part of the collection individually. So there'll be 3 more reviews coming up, which will feature Vendetta in Gotham, the Batman Judge Dredd, the Ultimate Riddle, and lastly Die Laughing. So stay tuned, because Richie Rich will be back yet again. This is Richie Rich signing off. Peace. 2 fingers.